Hi, Mary. What's going on today?
Hey, good morning. Nothing much. Just working. How are you?
Solid labor, I'm telling you. Hey, I appreciate you coming on today and just kind of visiting with me. Kind of call this channel called the Community Connect. Why? It's just connecting different people together in our industry, whether it's home buying, things that have to do with our community, and just kind of touching base with one another and let people know what's out there. My name is Yvonne. I am a licensed realtor in the state of Texas, brokered by EXP. We're an international company, and one of the things I like to say is that I dabble in a little bit of commercial. I do home, I do land, I connect the dots. I like to connect different agents moving in and out. And that's what makes it nice about working with EXP is we're international. We can do that. And I'm in the business to have conversations about real estate. So here we go. When it comes to buying and selling, though, Mary, I really want you to visit with everybody about a first-time home buyer and what they can expect. I visited this weekend with somebody and they had a lender in Arizona. And I said, okay, well, like, how did you manage that? And she said, well, we went online or somebody else had recommended. And I said, well, I think it's very important to sit across the table with a local lender because they understand our market. It doesn't mean that after time you can't refinance or, whatever you want to do, but really and truly to make the biggest purchase of your life. I would want you to sit with somebody across the table. And Mary, being with True North Home Loans locally, I want you to visit with them and tell me some of the tips and tricks that we want for homeowners and moving forward. So, Mary, introduce yourself. We want this informal. We want you to be able to contact Mary or I if we can lead you in the right direction. It's not all about making a sale, it's taking care of our clients. All right, Mary.
Absolutely.
Tell me what you
Yes.
get for first-time home buyers.
Thank you, Miss Yvonne. So I
Yeah.
am Mary Leyba. I'm with True North Home Loans, and I just love specializing with first-time home buyers, navigating the mortgage process, just making sure that all of our first-time home buyers go through this process with complete clarity and confidence. Like Miss Yvonne said, local lenders matter. Having somebody that will hold your hand and be able to know the market, know who you're dealing with, all of that is just so important. Now, a lot of times buying your first home, it's completely overwhelming. And so our goal is just kind of to give you a guide of, what's going to be happening, what we're going to be looking for, things like that. So what do you need? What are we looking for? Common mistakes, things like that. So, what do we actually start with? So, whenever you come in and you see me, basically what I'm going to be doing is going to be reviewing your income, reviewing your credit, and then with that, we find and structure the best loan program for you. We can go on and on about different programs, different down payment assistance, but every single file is so completely unique. And so the next step, we would guide you through underwriting. And then, of course, eventually, after that process, we get you to that closing table. So questions that, you know, people may have or misconceptions, my credit is not good. What could I do? Well, the first step is, getting to us. So let's have that conversation. Don't wait. If you're thinking you're going to buy a home within the next 6 to 12 months, start early. Let's look at your credit profile. We have tools that, can help you if you're right on the brink of, maybe qualifying, then let's get you in here. We can do some simulations and see if, we can get that score bumped up, get you ready. And so you're just, ready to shop.
So, Mary, you're
Um,
telling me that lenders can help you kind of work through the credit, like as if you were to go to a credit restoration place or something. So a lender can help somebody get to that. Explain
yes.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes it may be something as simple as, we can simulate, hey, if I pay off this credit card, a lot of your credit profile has to do with, the utilization. And so if you have a credit card that's maybe a little bit too high, it may be as simple as paying that credit card down. We can simulate that and see if that gets your if that gets your score up where we need you to be. Of course, if it is a little bit more extensive, then we have credit partners that we can work together with, add them, add them into our team, and then we get you there. But we don't ever let go of your hand. So that's the important part.
Sometimes I think people think, oh, we got to pay that credit card completely off. And that's not
Yeah,
the
I know.
case, right? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So once we do that, then we calculate debt to income ratios, all of that, and then we get you your pre-approval. So your pre-approval is going to give you the green light to go shopping. So once you go shopping, then you go see Miss Yvonne and you just go you go take a look at all the houses, and then we go under contract. She negotiates the contract. Once everyone is happy on both sides, then that is where it comes right back to me. Once it comes back to me, then we work on your interest rate. So while we're doing the pre-approval process, yes, I can give you a rate at the time. Once we have that contract in hand, that's whenever we have the real discussion of, hey, this is what the rates are today. This is what we can lock you in. Are we happy? Is payment good? All of that. Everything looks good. Yes, good. Okay, so we lock it in. Once we lock it in, file goes to processing. Processing will make sure that I have put everything in the file, and then they send it on to underwriting. So underwriting is going to be our second set of eyes, basically. And so this is the part where I always tell our buyers, this is the part where we're going to become best friends. And so, they may be coming back and forth with information, hey, we saw this, can you send us this? It's normal. I know
Right.
a lot of times people don't like to hear like, hey, they're going back and forth. Why didn't they ask for this at the beginning? But it's completely normal to go, back and forth. We need this, we need that. The thing is, we just like to stay proactive. And as soon as we get it, let's get it in so that we don't delay the process. Um, so yeah, that's why a lot of times we feel like it's a hurry up and wait game type
So
situation.
here's a scenario, Mary. I come
Hmm.
to you or a client comes to you and they fill out the application. The application filling that out gives them you approval to go ahead and do a check on there and their credit check. It gives
Yeah.
approval. Then when it comes back, you either meet with them, you don't. I want to say, how many days does it usually take for you to approve somebody or come back and tell them we need to do a little bit of work? It's not that we're not, it might just take us a couple months. How long does that process when they first fill out their application, you to get back to them?
So from application, if it is a clear cut application, we can
Perfect
have
girl.
that approval within 24 hours. But what
Okay.
happens a lot in our market is that we're looking at a lot of variable income. So variable income is anybody that earns overtime. We have a lot of small business
Mm.
owners. And so sometimes there are instances where I need to get additional verifications. And while this may take a little bit longer, because we do have to go to employers or collect income tax returns, while this may take a little bit longer, I always feel like it's important to get that up front because I don't want somebody to be excited to go shop for a new home and then, oh, hey, actually, you don't qualify. So, my goal is to make sure that whenever I give you a pre-approval, that pre-approval is going to be, make it to the closing table. And so, sometimes that may take a little bit longer, just depending on how quick we can get those verifications of employments back. But, at least within, we try to do it at least 24 to 72 hours to where we can, in an ideal world where we can get everything back.
I think some people also, they're scared. They're scared to what you're going to come back and you're going to tell them.
Exactly.
That you're approved or you're not approved. Hey, how can you do that? A little comforting where we just need to work on your credit a little bit. We
Mhm.
just need to, spend some time together and get this taken care of. So usually they'll have an answer in 24 hours to let them
Yeah.
know what's up, right?
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
okay.
If it's a credit issue, I mean, we pull credit as when once we have the application. So if we know like right away it's going to be a credit issue, we can say, hey, this is what it is. If it's extremely low and I can't quite come up with a plan, then I say, hey, I'm going to connect us to our credit repair, you know, person who helps us. Then we can all come up with a plan together. But like I said, we never leave your side. It's something that, we'll just journey on together, whether it's within the next month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it may be. So,
What else is the misconception when people come to you, they fill out the application, they should have an answer in 24 hours of one way or the other. Then I always say, wait till you get approval or from the lender, because if we go look at a house or something, oh,
mhm,
Mary, that house could be gone by the time
right.
they're ready to make an offer. And
And
for
they've
me,
already fallen in love and
yes, and I would
yes.
rather, or
Uh-huh.
let's say this. We go and we look at a house and it's 400,000 and really and truly we should be looking at about 280.
Right.
That's an idea and that's a real scenario. I like for them to get pre-approval first and they're like, okay, why? I want to look at some houses. I always use the three strikes you're out. I'll show you three and then we've got to move and get that pre-approval because
Mhm.
again, I don't want them to sign. I don't want them to fall in love. And then what does that make me look like?
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. The first step is always, 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 always get that pre-approval. And like you said, a lot of people just are they're I don't know if it's intimidated by the process or what it may be, but um we just become best friends throughout the process, throughout these, 30, 45 days, or if it's something that we need to repair throughout this 6 month process, whatever it may be. But you know, the first step is just talking to us is really all I can advise. Um, I know a lot of times they think, oh, I don't have enough money. I need 20%. Well, no, 20%, it doesn't really get you as far anymore. Sometimes we've been seeing that, sometimes the rates aren't as great if you put 5% versus 20%. So don't be intimidated by that if you don't have it. We also have down payment assistance programs that we can look into if you qualify. A lot of those are income driven, so you do have to qualify, but it doesn't hurt to check and see if you qualify for them. So yeah, that's
Mary, at one time I heard as you were talking, when you've got a small business owner, I mean, even like myself, if I have, can you do a bank statement loan?
yes. Yeah, so we can
Okay.
do these. What we're talking about is all
There's
of our qualified mortgages. We can also do the non-qualified mortgages. So for if we need to do bank statement loans, if we need to do like investment type loans, anything like that, pretty much our portfolio of products it's massive. So whatever the scenario is, let's look at it and create a plan. That's really what it comes down to.
That could be another place, another time. That would be a whole good another conversation because there's
Hmm.
so much to lending. But most importantly is I feel like being yourself, Mary, and being approachable, being bilingual, because I have ran into some situations that I'm like, wait, let me get you a bilingual speaking person because that is their comfort zone. And I want them to be able to be transparent through the entire, process. So,
Absolutely.
being bilingual, definitely is a plus. I wish I could speak it, but I can't. So, basically recapping, top three things. Go with a local lender. What's the next one, would you say?
I would say if you're looking to buy soon, avoid large cash deposits. Consistency matters on your income. And then as far as like your credit goes, just don't make any big purchases. Don't do, anything like that. Basically, if you can, just freeze, while
Don't
we
go
do
buy
this
a new
process.
car. Don't go buy new
Yes.
furniture. Just kind of hang in limbo for 45 days till you can get this
Exactly.
process done. And the biggest
Exactly.
investment. And then, of course, then then they work with their local realtor and they start looking for their home. And then I think it's a win-win, but there's so many different moving parts that
Mhm.
really and truly I think is very helpful to talk to somebody locally. So
Yep.
instead of feeling lost and frustrated in the process,
Yes.
we want to make it easy. Anything else, Mary? Tell them how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, so I am right here on 191. Our office is we office in the same office as Petroplex right here in the same building. My phone number is 432-202-9376. I do have a website if you are ready to apply. It's mortgageswithmary.com. And if you prefer to have in-person appointments over the phone, whatever it may be, however I can accommodate you, that's what I'm willing to do. So
Oh, Mary, thank you for your time. Time is money, money is time. I appreciate it very much. I am going to put this on a couple of my social platforms and a YouTube video. It's just under eXp Realty Community Connect under mine personally. I can't go under I can't go under Mary's True Home Loan and put this video on there. I can't go on EXP and put it on there, so I have to put it on my personal one. So anyway, thanks, Mary. Have a great week. And
thanks.
if you need Mary or myself to point you in the right direction, we're happy to. Take care.
Happy to help. Thanks. Bye.